Hello everyone, it's Carbs here, and today we're going to talk about the Tween Machine, an interpolation tool for Aseprite. I've gone ahead and put together some examples here to show off each one of the toolbar's functions. So this video is going to be a bit of an overview of each of those functions. Once you get the tool installed, it's going to be located up here underneath Frame, the Tween Machine. And you'll see that there are two different tabs here. There's a motion tab and an image tab. So the motion is going to be position, scale, and rotation. And then the image tab is going to be hue, saturation, lightness, and alpha. Alright, so first off, let's go ahead and start with a position example. So I've got this minecart, and I want to take the minecart from this side of the screen all the way to the other. I can kind of show you guys what the end result is. There you go. And so we'll go ahead and create a position tween from the first position to the last position. I'm going to go ahead and just remove all these and kind of show you guys how I set it up. So we've got the first frame here. I'm going to go ahead and select the minecart. Kind of a quick tip here: if you do Control and click on the keyframe, it should select all of the sprite on that layer. So Control and click, and we'll go ahead and move it and hold Shift, and we'll put it at the end. Oop, actually my mistake. I need to copy this first. There we go. So on the last frame, we want it to be over here. So I'll go ahead and move it over. There we go. So that's where it will be. So now we've got the first frame and the last frame. And then what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and select all of these and create new tween cells. Oh, right. I need to select one of the options, position, scale, or rotation. So go ahead and pick position. And now we can click create new tween cells. There we go. So now you see we have what we had before, where the minecart moves to the edge there. And it just fills in all of the in-between cells here, between the first cell and the last cell that we had data. Pretty neat. Let me also show you real quick here how to do a position tween if you want to go outside of the canvas. So let's say if we wanted to have the minecart start off camera here, go across the screen, and then end off camera. So it looks like it kind of loops back around. So what we'll do here is we'll just go ahead and remove all of these frames again, and we'll go back to the first frame. So what we'll do is we'll hit this expand canvas button, and that'll go ahead and make the canvas a bit bigger. And so we'll do the same steps. We'll go ahead and grab our minecart on the first one. Looks like I have to click on the canvas before it'll do the selection, but there we go. So I'll pull this off screen for the first frame. So maybe like over here. And then we'll go ahead and copy with Control C. And then we'll paste it into frame 12. So there it is. And then we'll go ahead and just move this guy over here, and we'll move him off screen as well. So we'll do that. Cool. And now what we'll do is we'll just select these like normal. Make sure we have position selected. And create new motion tween. Or I keep saying that. Create new tween cells. There we go. So now we have the animation that goes across. And now what we can do is we can hit retract canvas. So this will go ahead and crop it back down to what we originally had. So now you'll see that the minecart comes on and goes off screen. So you get kind of that loop effect, right? There we go. So we're just getting lots of minecarts. Minecarts full of jimmies. Yeah, so pretty cool, pretty neat little extra feature there. And it should be noted you can go diagonally, or you can go in any direction. It'll go from one point to the other. So if I do this and then select all of these and do a position tween, it is going to do a diagonally like that. So don't think that you're just locked to up and down and left and right. You can do pretty much any direction you'd like to go. And the same should be noted that you could have in between here as well. So if I copy this and paste it on like frame 6, and I have if I select the minecart again and I put him like up here, right? He'll go from here to here to here. So what I can do is I can just select all of these, and what it'll do is it'll do the tween between here, and it'll also do the tween between here. So we'll go ahead and do create new tween cells, and you'll see that it goes from one to the other. So you can do multiple tweens in one step between them. So it's pretty cool. All right, so next up, we'll move over to the scale tweens. So I'll uncheck this, and I'll open up the example I have here, which is a door zoom. So I've got this door that you know, it opens up, and then we zoom into it, right? So we kind of do this, and we're doing that by scaling the sprite up. So what we'll do here is I'll go ahead and take out all of these to kind of show you what we're going to do here. So we've got the door again. We could do control click to grab it. So go ahead and copy that, and we'll put it on the last frame. So I'll paste that. So yeah, looks good. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and scale this guy up. So I will hold, I think it's Shift and Alt to scale it up uniformly. And so we'll kind of do this, and we'll just move it up a little bit. So it's at the top of the screen here. Maybe I'll go down a little bit. So there we go. Cool. So we go from here to here. So now what we can do is we can go ahead and just select this frame here all the way over. And we want to make sure that we have scale check marked. Now, there is a bit of a clause here. Because we're moving this very center point, we also need to do position. So anytime the size of the sprite is going to change the position of it, we need to do position. So I'll show you what it looks like without the position. And that'll kind of show you why we need to do that. So go ahead and create new tween cells. Then that'll do its thing. And now you'll see that if we go from 16 up to 30, we get kind of this weird frame here where it like jumps up. And that's because the position is different than it was before. So let's go ahead and undo that. And we'll click position as well. So we'll do position and scale. We have all these selected, and we'll do create new tween cells. And what we should see is it scale up correctly, sort of in the same area that it was before. I think I may have cropped off the bottom there, but you get the idea. So yeah, pretty cool. You can also do this with the expand canvas that we used earlier. So if I go ahead and I expand the canvas, right? And let's say if I want to go, you know, zoom way into the door, let's say. So we've got our first frame here, and we've got our last frame here, like we did before. But I'll go ahead and I'll just zoom this door, you know, really close, and we'll just kind of fill the whole frame up with it, right? So there we go. So we've got this. It goes from here to here. So now what we'll do is we'll create the tween like we did before. Position and scale. Create new tween cells. That'll do its thing. And then we'll hit retract canvas. So you'll see that we're zoomed in now. So from here all the way up, and it just kind of zooms in like that. So it's pretty neat. So yeah, so you can use the expand canvas on that as well. Anytime you need to go off of the canvas, you'll have to use the expand canvas, and that's just because Aseprite needs to be able to see the start and end position of the sprite. So yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, so next up on the list is going to be rotation. So I've got this scene set up here with a potion that just goes ahead and it spins around and then stops. So it just spins up and around and then stops. Just like that. So the way we'll set this up, again, we'll go ahead and remove all of these frames. So that way you can just kind of see how it's actually working, right? So we have the first frame, and we'll go ahead and click on the canvas, and then we can control click on the keyframe to go ahead and grab it. And then we'll copy and we'll paste that over here into the frame 11, right? So what we'll do here is we'll go ahead and spin this guy around. Sort of bad example because it's going to go 360. So let's do this. Let's only turn it 180. So let's go 180. And if you notice up here, you can see the rotation. So we can go ahead and turn this 180 degrees like that. So we'll go ahead and select these frames like normal. And then I'll turn these off and we'll do rotation. So we'll go ahead and type in 180 degrees. And then we'll do create new tween cells. So this will go ahead and create that animation there. So there you go. And then we can also do this in the opposite direction. So let's say if we wanted to have it go counterclockwise this way, what we would do is we just do negative 180. And then again, we can do create new tween cells. So that'll go ahead and rotate it in the opposite direction, like that. So the thing to keep in mind here is just to know what your rotation is, which direction you're going and how many degrees. And again, you can kind of use the rotation here to figure that out. But yeah, so that's how rotation works using the Tween Machine. By the way, I just want to give a quick shout out to Clockwork Raven. These sprites here that I'm using are from their asset packs. So you should definitely check the link down in the description and check out their assets. They're really cool. They have a whole bunch of different things that you can download on their itch page. So yeah, shout outs to Clockwork Raven for the awesome sprites. And yeah, I use these a lot. So it's super fun. Okay, so the next thing I want to show off is this modify existing cells option here. So this is going to be useful when you already have animated something. Let's say, for instance, maybe you have a character such as this fox who is running, right? And this, we want this to, you know, maybe we want the fox to go running across the screen from one side of the canvas to the other, right? Like the minecart, but it's animated. So that's what this modify existing cells is going to be for. So I've got sort of this already set up, and you see here that the fox starts on the left side of the screen, and he's animated, and he's running across to the right hand side of the screen, just like that. So I'll go ahead and show you guys how this is set up. Actually, shout out here as well to I believe the name of the user is Ansimuz over on itch. This is part of their Sunnyland asset pack as well. So anyways, yeah, shout out to Ansimuz for the sprite work. So let me go ahead. We're gonna go and we're gonna grab all of these frames of the character, and we're gonna go ahead and copy these, and we're gonna go back into our animation that we want to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and just remove all these frames so I can show you guys these. And don't worry about these other layers here. This is going to be something I show you in just a moment. But we'll go ahead and paste our fox character here into the scene. And it looks like they pasted a little bit low. Let's move these guys up. And just move you back up here. So you're not so far down. There we go. So that should be good. So you see the character's animated. And he's running around here. But he's running in place. So what we need to do is we need to fill in the rest of these cells, and then we need to put him at the end of the scene. So we'll go ahead and copy these, and we'll paste them into the next set, paste them into the next set, and paste them into the next set. So then we'll go ahead and on this very last frame, we will take our fox, and again we can just click on the canvas, control click on the keyframe to grab him. And then we'll go ahead and move him and hold shift and put him over here on this side of the screen. So there we go. And now, so he starts here, he's running, and he's going to end up over there. So what we'll do is we'll select all of these. And then instead of clicking create new tween cells, we'll modify the existing cells. So again, position and modify existing. So there we go. So now he starts on this side of the screen and runs across and ends up on that side. So while we're here, we have 4 different easing types in the tool. We've got linear, ease in, ease out, and ease in out. And that's available here in this little drop down. So linear is it's very much the same speed. So it goes across at the same speed. Ease in is going to be kind of like you start off very slow, and then you start to ramp up. Then we have ease out. So I'll show that. And this is quite the opposite. So this is where he starts going pretty quick, and then by the end he slows down. And then we have ease in out, which is kind of a combination of the two, where he will start slow, get up to speed, and then start slowing down towards the end. So again, these are in the little drop down here. You just select which option you want, and it will apply when you do your tweening. All right, so there's one little last thing as far as the motion tweens, and this applies for both, but this option right here, non-destructive mode, I'll toggle that on. And what this does is it will create a new layer. Instead of modifying the original layer, it'll just create a new layer for you. So when you create new tween cells, it's going to go ahead and create a copy of the layer. And here's our animation. So we still have the original with the two keyframes. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can create a non-destructive thing instead, which it just makes a copy of it and then creates does the tween for you on that layer instead of the original. All right, so let's move over to the image side of things. So if I click on the image tab here, we'll have hue, saturation, lightness, and alpha. So let's start with just a basic hue tween so I can kind of show this off, but then we can kind of mix and match these afterwards. So I'll go ahead and load up my potion hues example that I have here. You see it goes from this blue color and then it works its way over to this green color. So it kind of does like a transition with the colors. A hue tween, if you will. Go ahead and just remove all of these frames again. We'll go ahead and copy the first frame. And we'll put this over here in the end. And now what we'll do is we'll toggle the hue. And I've got 270 in there. That's a pretty good number, honestly. That was that green color. And then on that last cell, we'll hit apply to cell. And that's going to change the hue to what our output is going to be, or our last frame. So now all we got to do, just like position or any of those others, select all of the frames, the cells, I guess, and then click on create new tween cells. And this will go ahead and create the cells, and then it'll also apply the appropriate amount of hue modification to it. Down at the very bottom here, it says how many degrees it's going, right? So right here we have 0, and then this goes all the way up to 360. So if you think of it like that, we're going 270 degrees from this wherever we started. So if I go here, we're going to go 270 degrees, which is why we end up kind of in this green area here. So yeah, that's how the hue tween works. All right, so let's move over to saturation, and I'll show you guys how that works. So this one's a little bit different because it has a bar instead of the number input. So I'll go ahead and untoggle hue. And so saturation works quite similarly to hue, but again, there's the bar. So we'll go ahead, let's copy our first frame of our liquid, and we'll put it in the last one as well. And what we can do here is we can modify the saturation. Let's go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna make this very desaturated. So we'll go like negative. Let's go negative 100. Just completely desaturated. So I can click on this and then do apply to cell, and you'll see that it is in fact desaturated. So if this is the effect I'm looking for, then that's cool. And we can go ahead and select all of these. And I can do create new tween cells. And this will go ahead and do the effect how it needs to. So we'll go from that blue color and it'll fade and it'll be no saturation. So if we didn't want it to be, let's say if we did a saturation of -100 and we're like, oh, that's not quite right. So we can just simply undo, and then we can modify this number to say something a little bit different and then apply to Cels. So we can kind of see what that looks like. And then we could do the same thing, select it and create new tween cells. But that is how saturation works with the Tween Machine. So the next one here, we have lightness, which is basically the mix of how much black and how much white is mixed into the color, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. So what we'll do here is let's go ahead and just mix this a little bit. We'll mix it with like white. So let's we'll crank this up a little bit and see how this looks. Again, we're selecting our last frame, hitting apply to cell. So we get kind of this like kind of almost like a snowy sort of effect. So here's our original, and here's the like snowy effect. So what we'll do is, if we like that, that's good. Again, we'll just go ahead and select all of this and do create new tween cells. And there you go. So now we have this kind of fade to the, from the blue to the lighter blue. Yeah, and that's how that works. I mean, this is all, the rest of these kind of work the same, saturation, lightness, and alpha. I guess hue is a little bit different, but like, yeah, everything kind of works sort of the same. So it's just a matter of changing the setting, applying it, and then using that setting to do the tween itself. So let's go ahead and go into alpha. So let's say if we wanted to fade this down to 0. Well, we can do that. We'll just go ahead and set the alpha to -99. Hit apply to cell. And here we go. So we just do this and create new tween cells, just like normal. So here's that, fades it down. And if we don't want anything in the last one, we can always just delete it. So you get that kind of effect there. So something unique with the alpha is we can do a fade in, fade out effect here. So if we go ahead and just remove all of these again, and I'll go ahead and copy my blue from frame 1 to frame 18. Let's go ahead and also put one in frame 9, so right in the middle. So from here to here, we're going to go ahead and fade in, or sorry, fade out. And then from here to here, we're going to fade in. So how we do that with this is we'll go ahead and apply our -99 to our middle frame, just like that. And then we'll select these and we'll do create new tween cells. And that'll create our fade out. And now how we do the fade in from nothing would be a little difficult. So let's go ahead and copy our end frame again, and we'll paste it here in the next frame, frame 10. So then we'll select frame 10 to frame 18, and this time what we'll do is we'll do create in reverse. So it's going to, instead of fading out, it's going to fade in. So it'll start from the back and it'll work its way towards our previous keyframe. So if I do create in reverse, -99, and then we'll do create new tween cells. So now you see we have a fade down, or fade out, and then a fade in. So it fades out and fades in. Just like that. Alright, so that's going to be basically it. There's just a couple little things here, so you can minimize the tool to kind of hide it out of the way. This is pretty standard with all of my tools nowadays, so if you need to keep the tool open but just minimize it, that is definitely an option. And then there's also this help and info section here, but it'll kind of show you, it'll explain each of the different areas here. And then a couple new things that I've added in this this recent update is there's a link to the itch page, as well as a link to this video that you guys are watching right now, as well as this bug report button, which is becoming pretty standard in the tools that I have now. So this allows you to create a bug report if you find any bugs. But yeah, so all you do is click on these and it will go ahead and open up the website. Right now it just links to here, but in the future when this video is out, it'll go to the video. And likewise with the itch page, this will go ahead and open this up. So yeah, pretty cool. If you guys have any questions, let me know. And yeah, thank you for checking this video out. I know it was a bit of a longer one here, but it's more of an in-depth view of the tool. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Carbs, and thank you for joining me on this adventure. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Yeah, we're leaving it in. That's good. Everything's good.